Good evening. It is Thursday, March 27th, 2025 at 6 p.m. We are at the District Service Center in Cottage Grove, Minnesota. We would like to acknowledge that the land in which we gather is the land of the Mdewakanton Dakota people. Mdewakanton means dwellers of the Spirit Lake. Our first item on the agenda is roll call. Sean?
Ryan Clark.
Good evening, y'all.
Sharon Van Leer.
Here.
Eric Tessmer.
Here.
Melinda Doles is absent. Simi Patnaik.
Here.
Katie Schwartz.
Here.
Milan Chi.
Here.
John Tepe.
Here.
And Bryn Hacker.
Here. Okay, 2.0, Pledge of Allegiance, please stand.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, 3.0 is approval of the agenda. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Sharon, seconded by Eric. Any comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Moving on to 3.1, and that will be our oath of office for Louise, and that will be presented by Superintendent Nielsen. Come on up.
Louise, I think I'll have you stand to my right. Okay, all right. So this evening, as the oath of office is recited, you are assuming a tremendous responsibility as a director of our school district with the duties empowered by the Minnesota legislature. This power puts you and the other members of our school board in the position of being both morally and legally responsible for equitable and quality education of every student in the district. In carrying out this responsibility, you will be asked to fulfill the roles of vision, structure, accountability, and advocacy. In providing vision, the board, with extensive participation of the community, envisions the community's educational future and formulates the goals, defines the outcomes, and sets the course of our school district. To achieve the vision, the board establishes the structure and creates an environment designed to ensure all students the opportunity to attain their maximum potential through a sound organizational framework. As a board member, you will be accountable to the community, ensuring a continuous assessment of student achievement and all the conditions affecting the education of our children. You serve as education's key advocate on behalf of students and our community to advance the vision of our school district. Furthermore, you must strive to work together to lead the district toward fulfilling the vision we have created, fostering excellence for every student in the areas of academic skills and knowledge, citizenship, and personal development. At this time, Louise, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the state of Minnesota.
I swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the state of Minnesota.
I will discharge faithfully
I will discharge faithfully
the duties of the office of school board member
the duties of the office of school board member
of District 833 South Washington County Schools
of District 833 South Washington County Schools
to the best of my judgment and ability.
to the best of my judgment and ability.
Congratulations and welcome.
Welcome back, Louise. Okay, now we will move on to 3.2, and that will be years of service for Pat Driscoll, presented again by Superintendent Nielsen.
And Ms. Pat Driscoll thought she was going to sneak away from us just quietly. You can move, but we can find you. Today, for those of you that don't know, is the day that I typically call board members on a board meeting day, and I'm sure Pat was surprised, like, why is she calling me today? I'm no longer on the board. But I did want to call her and remind her that we were going to take the opportunity to recognize her for years of service. So this evening, on behalf of the school board and administration, we would like to present Patricia Driscoll with an award of appreciation for her service from 2018 to 2025. Pat, and those of you who don't know, Pat has spent many, many years in education, and being part of our school board, you have been so valued. And so we appreciate everything that you have done advancing our school district and your leadership on our school board. And so congratulations and best wishes as you move forward.
Thank you, Pat. Okay, 4.0 is comments to the board. At this time, individuals may speak to the school board on any item relating to South Washington County Schools. The board will not respond to or discuss your comments. Character abuse or specific complaints identifying staff, students, or task force members will not be permitted. The superintendent may be asked to prepare a response to your concerns. The comments to the board period will be held open for up to 30 minutes in total. Each speaker is permitted to speak for up to 3 minutes in total. The school board will allow up to 3 speakers per topic. At the 3-minute mark, the microphone will be turned off and we will move on to either the next speaker or the next agenda item. 2.0 will be our student district ambassadors, and that will be introduced by Superintendent Nielsen.
Thank you. And good evening. I was down at the podium, so I'm going to start back up here. It has been over a month, and I just asked the students if they missed coming here to spend time with us, and they did. I don't know if they missed the food or just the fun. But I'm going to start off this evening with our elementary student. And so, Milan, I'm going to have you start by introducing yourself and just talking a little bit about you and what school you go to.
I'm Milan Chi. I go to Pine Hill, and I'm in 5th grade.
And so, what do you enjoy most, Milan, about being a student leader?
Coming here, it's fun.
What have you learned? What have you learned about the school district? I know we took a tour. We've done different things. What did you learn on the tour? Anything that you can remember?
How big it is, and like how much money.
See the important things, the size and the money. Do you remember how many students we talked about? Wow, let's give them a hand. That was it. 1,000, you are right. Because sometimes when our students come down here, they just see one little specific school. And so when we begin to open their eyes that we are a really large district, they're like, wow. And then as we toured our district service center, seeing all the departments and seeing the paper and the printing and mounds and boxes of paper, because we're such a large district. What is something interesting that's happening at your school?
We're going to do an egg drop challenge.
And so what do you have to do to prepare for that egg drop? And don't tell me drop an egg.
Just find out what materials could cushion it.
And do you work with a partner, or is it a solo, just by yourself activity?
Partner.
A partner, so just one partner? And is this the activity where you climb to the top of the ladder?
I don't know.
I hope you don't climb to the top. Let your teacher climb to the top. That is a fun activity. Is that for all students in the school?
Just 5th grade.
We like it when it's just a grade-specific project. If you could create a class or program for students, what would you create?
I would teach just fishing and sports.
And tell us why you would choose fishing and sports.
Well, I like learning about fish, and I like playing a lot of sports.
And what sports do you like to play, Milan?
Baseball, soccer, and football.
Well, you know what, Milan, you're going to have lots of opportunities in the school district, and we are so excited and so happy to have you here this evening. Normally, I told the students that if they look up there, they get to see their picture. So who's ever behind the scenes, our students do like to see how they look. Go right there now. Look at the kids, please. But they like to see, there you are, kids. Sometimes when our students speak, they actually speak up there to themselves. And look at the board, right? Thank you so much. We're going to move next to our middle school student. And John, I will let you go ahead and introduce yourself and share some comments about being a student leader.
Hello, my name is John Tepe. I'm in 8th grade and I attend Lake Middle School. One of the things I enjoy most about being a student leader is getting to come out here and see all the wonderful people who work here. Something interesting going on in my school right now is tomorrow the jazz band and I are going to tour the elementary schools and play songs for them. As a student ambassador, I provide feedback about teachers, student policies, and student behavior. I think that I'm motivated to learn because I know that one day I'll be able to apply that information to find a job and use it in my day-to-day life. I've had many positive experiences throughout my 8th grade year, one being when we went to Eastridge with the LMS band, and then we went to get Culver's after. I think that the student programs we have, like band, are important. I think an idea I have, for one, is making sessions with a therapy dog to help reduce student stress and boost mental health. Finally, I just want to say that one of my favorite times of being a district ambassador is when we got to sample new foods for the cafeteria. Thank you for listening.
And it wasn't just about the new foods. Can you remind the board and those in the audience, when we sampled food, it wasn't just to say, like, what were our nutrition services staff doing? Why did they do that activity?
They're trying to make the foods that students eat healthier, like reducing salt and sugar and other not as nutritious ingredients.
John is really paying attention to details Because what John realized is some of the new regulations coming out are reducing sodium and reducing sugar. And so exactly. They get to sample things and see, does that look like there's too much zucchini, or we could put a little more in and students wouldn't notice, all of those different things. So thank you, John, for sharing. Bryn, we're going to move last to you as our high school student.
Hi, my name is Bryn Hacker. I'm a junior at Woodbury High School. One of my favorite things about being a student leader is hearing all the things that are going on throughout our district. I especially like to hear about what's happening at East Ridgeland Park, the fellow high schoolers, and hear all the amazing things that are going on there and trying to bring those back to Woodbury and see if we can integrate them. Something interesting that's happening to Woodbury High School is that there's a lot of renovations going on. Me and my fellow student ambassadors at Woodbury have met with Principal Mrs. Sorensen-Wagner, and we have talked about all the changes that are happening, and we gave our input on what we like and what we might want a little bit differently from our experience as students. As a student ambassador at Woodbury, we meet once a month to talk about all sorts of things. We talk about what's going on in our school. We ask questions that we've heard throughout the school to try and get an answer to share with our peers. And we also have a Google form that students can fill out to talk about things that they have problems with within our school. And we try and work through ways to improve that for all of our students. With this new change to our school and the enlargement that's happening, there's a lot more classes that have a potential of being added. And as a junior and working through the ACT, I've really been thinking about classes, and I think it would be really nice if the school could provide an ACT study course in class, like during the school day, because I know that all online courses or in-person courses can cost a lot of money, and some people do not have the financial means to take those, and so then they have limits to what they are fully capable of. One thing that motivates me to learn and keep going is just the future that I could have, and I have a lot of goals that I would like to achieve, and I know that I'd have to keep putting in the effort and keep learning to be able to achieve those goals. I love working with the district center because I'm able to just meet with everyone. I like to hear from the elementary schoolers because I remember my elementary school days, and it's fun to see what stayed the same versus what has changed. And yeah, I like to bring that back to our school and share everything I've learned.
Thank you, Bryn. I wish that we could keep the same group of students year after year after year, because it takes a year for them to get to know each other. And it's great to watch how our elementary students, follow and model after our middle and high schoolers. And it's great to watch our high school students as they sit at their table right here, right, Bryn? And just how they're able to connect with our three big high schools. And so let's give our student ambassadors this evening a round of applause. Thank you.
Okay, on to 6.0, and that's our consent items. All consent items are considered routine and not non-controversial by the school board and will be approved by a single motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items prior to the meeting. Board members have had the opportunity to review each of these items and may request that any item be moved to the action items for individual consideration. That did not happen this evening, so can I get a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
That's Sharon and Louise. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Okay, on to 7.0, and that is our information items. We do have one this evening, and that is 7.1, and that is our community education update, early learning, and that will be presented by Jake Winchell, Director of Community Education.
Good evening, Chair Schwartz, members of the board, Superintendent Nielsen. Thank you for the opportunity to be here tonight and share with you a little bit about the great early learning programming that we have going on here in the district. Here with me tonight are two of our leaders in early childhood, Joyce Beard and Beth Quist. They will handle the majority of this presentation here tonight. Being my first year in the district, it has been one of the more rewarding parts of this role is to see the high quality programming that we have across community education, but especially in early learning. One of the biggest takeaways I have had from this presentation that you'll see tonight is the overwhelming number of students that this team connects with annually. Not only that, but they do it across many different sites within the district. It's a very big and complex program. And most importantly, it's a very high-quality program. I think that says a lot about our teachers, our paras, our partnerships with ECSE, district leaders, and leadership within the program. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to our two leaders here, Joyce Beard and Beth Quist, for the presentation.
Good evening, Chair Schwartz and the members of the board, Superintendent Nielsen, and distinguished guests. My name is Joyce Beard, and I supervise the community education early childhood programs. I have supervised these programs for the last 11 years, but have been supervising or working in early childhood programs in school districts for nearly 30 years. Tonight, we are excited to share with you information about our district's community education early childhood programs. This includes early childhood family education, preschool, and early childhood screening. In this presentation this evening, we plan to highlight the role of early learning in South Washington County schools, as well as provide a high-level overview of our early learning programs under the community education umbrella. Over the next 4 slides, I will highlight key empirical research findings that demonstrate the importance of early childhood education. These findings provide valuable insights into the critical role of brain development in the first 5 years, the long-term benefits and high return on investment in early childhood education, early learning as the foundation for literacy success, and the importance of strengthening schools through family partnerships. Did you know that by age 5, a child's brain is 90% developed? The early years are a critical window of opportunity, shaping a child's ability to learn, think, and thrive. Early experiences, positive or negative, lay the foundation for a child's future. These critical brain connections for higher level abilities like problem-solving, empathy, and self-control are formed or not in the early years. Without positive interactions and stimulation, these essential connections may not develop fully, making it much harder to build them later in life. Early childhood education fosters the development of neural pathways that underpin critical life skills, laying the groundwork for lifelong learning and personal growth. The state of Minnesota invests in early childhood programs through specific allocated funding. An abundance of research over the years has found investments in early childhood education helps to strengthen families, improve schools, build a stronger workforce, and boost the economy. Nobel-winning economist James Heckman found that every dollar invested in quality early childhood programs generates $4 to $16 in returns. The earlier we act, the greater impact for kids, families, businesses, and communities. Early literacy is the foundation for a child's success in school and life. It starts with language, hearing words, building vocabulary, and learning to communicate. In addition, children need nurturing experiences and interactions to develop foundational literacy skills, and it all begins from day 1. Gaps in children's vocabulary start to appear as early as 18 months. By the time children are 3 and 4 years old, their vocabulary, attention, and general knowledge are predictors of 3rd and 4th grade reading comprehension. 3rd grade reading ability is one of the best predictors of high school graduation. In early childhood programs, we establish early connections with children and families to support the foundational building blocks of literacy. Research consistently demonstrates that early family engagement in a child's education is strongly linked to improved academic performance, including higher grades and better test scores. Early learning programs through our community education program provide early access for families with children prenatal to age 5, supporting strong family partnerships from the start. Our early learning programs have a multifaceted approach to supporting services to families. In the 23-24 program year, our program served 3,677 participants and provided 817 community referrals to families. This number represents an unduplicated count for those enrolled in early childhood family education, early childhood screening, and preschool. The preschool numbers included were those enrolled through community education and does not include those children enrolled through special education services. An additional 268 3 to 5-year-olds enrolled through early childhood special education was placed in the community education program during the 23-24 program year. In addition, 1,996 children birth to 5 attended our various early childhood family education drop-in classes. Our team consists of 76 program staff, including 71 instructional staff and 5 support staff. Our instructional team includes licensed early childhood educators for both preschool and ECFE, as well as licensed parent educators who primarily serve ECFE, but also support families across all early learning programs. Additionally, paraprofessionals play a vital role in supporting classroom instruction in both ECFE and preschool. Our support team mirrors the structure of early learning programming in our district 30 years ago, when all early learning programs operated from just 2 centralized sites. At that time, preschool was only located at the district program center. Currently, early learning programming is distributed across 12 different district buildings. Our extraordinary early learning office coordinators located at Liberty Ridge Site 2 handle all ECFE and preschool enrollment throughout our 12 buildings, as well as support early childhood screening. Each year, our early learning office staff enroll participants in 128 various classroom sections for both day and evening learning opportunities. This includes processing over 1,800 tuition-based class enrollments annually. As I mentioned previously, we are located currently at 12 sites, including 10 elementary and 2 centralized sites. Our 2 centralized sites include 14 ECFE and preschool classrooms. Liberty Ridge Site 2 also houses our early learning program offices, where we handle all community education early learning enrollment. 13 additional preschool classrooms are housed within elementary sites. All early learning staffing and instructional direction is supervised through early learning. Next, I will provide an overview of the unique structure of early learning, including the state, district, and funding framework. I will then highlight the early learning programs within community education. After that, Beth Quist will share insights into our ECFE outreach initiatives. Beginning with the state level, in July of 2024, public school early learning programs transitioned from the Minnesota Department of Education to a new agency, the Department of Children, Youth, and Families. This reorganization aims to streamline services by consolidating programs previously spread across multiple state agencies. By centralizing these programs under one department, Minnesota seeks to enhance service delivery and better address the needs of its children and families. At the district level, 2 specialized and distinct early learning areas are supported under special services and community education. Early childhood special education is part of the Department of Special Services. Early childhood special education provides specialized services for young children birth to age 5 with developmental delays or disabilities. Community education early childhood programming includes a range of early learning opportunities, such as early childhood family education, preschool programming, and early childhood screening. Community education programs are open to all families. Unlike ECSE, participation in early childhood family education and preschool are typically voluntary and may involve tuition or sliding fees. The funding streams for community education early learning programs are varied. Minnesota's community education early learning programs are funded through a combination of state aid, local levies, and parent fees and tuition. Funding for early learning programs is diverse and only partially covered, with 9 different funding streams supporting these key programs. All state funding is governed by statutes and guidelines that regulate program delivery and services to ensure quality and accountability. Next, I will outline the 3 early learning programs offered through community education, beginning with preschool. State funding provides preschool access for children who are 3 and 4 years of age by September 1st. In addition, eligibility criteria, curriculum and instruction, service hours, and licensure requirements for teachers and administrators are determined by state statutes and funding stream guidelines. Our preschool classrooms include a mix of tuition-based seats, financial assistance options, and placements for early childhood special education students. 44 class sections of preschool with a current capacity of 800 slots for 3 and 4-year-olds. Moving to early childhood screening. The purpose of early childhood screening is to promote healthy development, identify children who may need further evaluation, and/or to connect families to community and district resources. Parents can expect a brief, simple check of their child's vision, hearing, growth, development, and immunization status, along with a short parent interview. Screening is required before children enter kindergarten in a public school. In our preschool program, screening is also required for 4-year-olds before enrollment and for 3-year-olds within 90 days of the start of preschool. While screening before kindergarten is mandatory, Minnesota encourages screening at age 3 to identify developmental, health, and learning concerns early, ensuring timely intervention and support before kindergarten. Additionally, screening at age 3 offers an opportunity to share information about early learning programs available to children in our district and community. Our third program area, Early Childhood Family Education, otherwise known as ECFE, provides education and support for all families with children birth to age 5. ECFE in our district has a multifaceted approach, acting as a partner, creating collaborations with other community providers, as a connector, providing resource connection for families, and as a service provider, offering parent-child classes and family events. ECFE is a unique program in the nation with no other state offering a similar initiative. ECFE began 51 years ago as a pilot program in public schools. ECFE is now offered in every school district in Minnesota. It is a statewide program ensuring that all families with young children have access to early childhood education and parent support. In our district, ECFE serves many families with children from birth to age 5 and is our largest early childhood enrollment program. In the 2023-24 program year, we provided programming for 1,756 unduplicated participants through classes, family field trips, family events, home visits, preschool, parent-child events, and child care training. Our ECFE team consists of licensed early childhood educators and licensed parent educators, as well as licensed administrators. ECFE classes include 3 component areas: early childhood education, parent-child interaction time, and parent education. Our Early Learning Advisory Council is a requirement for ECFE programs and provide advisement and counsel to support program effectiveness. Next, Beth Quist, who has been our ECFE outreach coordinator for the past 5 years, will talk briefly about ECFE outreach.
Hello. Outreach refers to the intentional and strategic engagement with individuals and groups outside our organization or program. The ECFE outreach programming goal is to identify new and underserved populations, identify child and family risk factors, particularly those that impact children's learning and development, and assess family and parenting education needs in the community, provide programs and services that are tailored to the needs of families and parents as prioritized in the Community Needs Assessment, which is a state report provided annually to the Department of Children, Youth, and Families, and raise awareness of early learning programming services throughout the district community, both internally and externally. The following outreach areas or roles have been established to deliver programs and services specifically designed to meet the needs of families and parents in our community. The overall purpose and intention of utilizing these outreach areas is to create alignment across early childhood programs and the community overall, ensuring all children have a high-quality early childhood experience. Our infant services provide information, support, and community connection for new parents aimed at addressing the unique needs of babies and toddlers birth through 24 months and their families. Our Families Learning Together program is a multicultural, multilingual ECFE class for families with children ages birth to 5 years. Early childhood education, and parent-child interaction components provide the format for engaging in a supportive learning environment, sharing cross-cultural perspectives, and making community connections. The Families Learning Together community of shared learning focuses on children's development as well as discussions related to parenting and school practices that are both shared and unique around the world. Licensed childcare support works with our local childcare providers and community-based preschools to horizontally align evidence-based early learning practices that are grounded in early childhood state standards. Our preschool and screening parent liaisons offer an alternative method of delivering parent education and resources while increasing awareness of early learning services and events for families with children ages 3 through 3rd grade. This includes families enrolled in preschool, participating in early childhood screening, and engaging in parent consultations and home visits. Organizational outreach participates in activities to increase awareness about early learning services and events in our community and utilizes social media as an alternative approach to deliver parent education information and resources. On the screen is a quote from one of our preschool parents who opted into one of our parent consultations with one of our preschool and screening parent liaisons. It speaks to the impact of a parent consultation. She said, "One of the best supports we had at home for our son's social anxiety was the parent consultation. She met with us, gave us great ideas for books and language to use that was the same as school, parent encouragement, and it made a huge difference." Listed here is a sampling of highlights in regards to outreach during the 2023-24 program year. We provided 487 parent consultations. These were provided by 3 of our staff. The breakdown of consultations by age includes 7 prenatal, 110 new baby, 15 toddler, 331 preschool, and 24 for children kindergarten through 3rd grade, their parents. Parent and child preschool nights provide an opportunity for parents to attend their child's preschool class with their child and then attend a separate parent presentation facilitated by the preschool and screening parent liaisons. This year's topic was Playful Beginnings, Nurturing Your Child's Heart, Mind, and Joy for Learning. Parents learned about the importance of play and how it supports children's development in the areas of language and literacy and social-emotional development. Through our outreach efforts to connect with families through local licensed child care providers and community-based preschools, we successfully trained 209 providers in key areas such as child development, managing challenging behaviors, executive function, and the importance of learning through play. Each training also included a parent education component, empowering providers in our community to confidently share the knowledge they gained with families. ECFE outreach would not be possible without the continued support and collaboration with community partners. Here, listed on this slide, are just a few examples. We have an extensive relationship with various departments in Washington County. In addition, some of the other community partners include the Cottage Grove Fire Department, Washington County Public Libraries, and SoWashCo Cares. I'd like to highlight a recent example of community collaboration with Washington County that aligns with the stated goals in 2 of our outreach areas, licensed child care support and preschool and screening parent liaisons. A picture of our community partners from Washington County are pictured on this slide. On Saturday, February 8th, SoWashCo ECFE collaborated with Washington County Child Care Licensing to provide a half-day training for 27 licensed home child care providers in our community. Our ECFE child care trainer led a session on managing challenging behaviors in early childhood, offering a variety of strategies used by South Washington County early learning programs to support children, strategies that providers can also share with the families they serve. Additionally, our ECFE preschool and screening liaison shared valuable insights about early childhood screening, what it is and what it is not, and offered guidance how they could effectively discuss early childhood screening with the parents that they work with. Through this collaboration, we were able to horizontally align evidence-based early learning practices that are grounded in early childhood state standards and increase awareness about early learning services, specifically early childhood screening in our community.
This concludes our presentation for this evening. We appreciate the school board's commitment to early childhood education and look forward to continued collaboration in shaping a brighter future for all learners.
Thank you.
We'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have at this time.
Not a question, but a comment. Like, wow.
Right.
The more I learn about early childhood development and what you're doing and the number of moving parts you have going on, this is rocket science. It's amazing what you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Jake, I did have a question. So I saw they mentioned that there's 6 full pay slots, 6 special ed slots, and 6, I forget.
Financial assistance.
Financial assistance
Yep.
slots. So what happens, so what do we do with students? I mean, what if there are, 10 full pay or 10 financial assistants, or how does that work, or how do we accommodate that?
Grace, you wanna go ahead and take over?
Yeah, so that is how we have it set up, but of course, we have children that we may have been identified in our preschool programs that maybe then move to early childhood special education services. So it's not always 6,
Okay.
but that's how we set it up. But it does shift.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then is it like the classroom space availability is kind of the rate limiting step on expansion of early childhood education? Like we just don't have enough, how do we expand this program if we wanted to?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think transportation is an ongoing issue, and I think a huge barrier for children to attend the program. So that would be one thing. I'm not certain. I think the capacity is a little bit of an issue in terms of maybe where we're located, because that can be difficult sometimes when there's needs for K-12 and then the enrollment grows and then we have to maybe move to another site. So that tends to happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where the demand is and where the spaces are not,
Right.
okay.
Yes.
Don't overlap, okay.
Yes.
I agree with Louise. This is amazing. I'm really impressed with all that you guys are doing. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a follow-up question. How long has this program been in place in South Washington County? Do we know when it started?
Good question. I mean, I know I was actually teaching here quite a while ago in the 90s, and before that, I would say it probably started here in the 80s, but it was very small back then. It was ECFE, and then preschool just at the district program center, so it's really grown.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we'll move on to 8.0, and that is our action items. We do have 3 of those this evening, and the first one is 8.1, proposed policy changes, and that will be presented by Julie Nielsen, Superintendent.
Thank you. The policies being brought forward this evening have been reviewed and revised to reflect updates in Minnesota statute, definition of terms, legal references, and cross-references. Our board policy committee met and has reviewed and made any suggestions. If you recall, on March 6th, we discussed those during a workshop meeting. And so this evening, I am bringing forth for approval in our 400 series, 7 policies. In our 500 series, just 2 policies. So 400 policies that are incorporated by reference, 401 equal employment opportunity, 402 non-discrimination disability, 402.2 non-discrimination section 504, 403 discipline, suspension, and dismissal of school district employees, 418 drug-free workplace and drug-free schools, 419 tobacco-free environment, and in our 500 series, Title 9, sex non-discrimination, and 524, student technology, acceptable use, and safety.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Motion by Sharon, seconded by Simi. Any comments? Okay, seeing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Okay, on to 8.2, and that is our revised budget for 2024-25, and that will be presented by Chris Blackburn, Director of Business Services.
Good evening, Chair Schwartz, members of the board, Superintendent Nielsen, and student ambassadors. And I love that you love the food. I got to try pickled pizza the other day because I sit near food service. So tonight we're seeking approval of the 24-25 revised budget. School districts revise their budgets annually after student counts, state and federal allocations, and labor expenses are better known when the preliminary budget was compiled in June of the previous year. The school board was presented with the 24-25 revised budget on March 2nd, 2025, with significant variances from the preliminary budget were highlighted. One note is that the general fund balance on the graph that was provided with the admin report reflects a fund balance in general fund of 14.4%. And I just wanted to note that that actually is the total, just overall fund balance, inclusive of all restricted funds. And so it's all expenditures, the total fund balance divided by all expenditures, whereas the board policy actually reflects only the unrestricted. So we remove it and we match the MDE calc. So we're projecting that to be at 15.8% would be the board policy percentage. Administration recommends approval of the 24-25 revised budget at this time.
Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Simi, seconded by Sharon. Any questions?
Chris, I just had one question.
Absolutely.
Which was, thank you for providing the board fund balance, but do you remember offhand what our target fund balance for this 25-26 year is?
We had anticipated going up about 2% each year, so I believe it was 14.6 would have been this current year, because our goal was by 26 to be at 16.6.
Okay, so the 15.8, we're ahead of
We
our,
would still be slightly above, yes.
okay, perfect. Thank
Any
you.
other comments or questions? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
And then we are on to 8.3, and that is our release of probationary teachers, and that will be presented by Abby Baker, Executive Director of Human Resources and Operation.
Good evening, Chair Schwartz, members of the school board, Superintendent Nielsen, and our student ambassadors. Tonight, I will present on 8.3, the termination of probationary teaching contracts. During the 2024-2025 school year, as in past years, we have many exceptional teachers working for the school district. It is necessary to pass a resolution to terminate the teaching contracts of a number of probationary teachers. The reason for release includes student-driven scheduling, changes in enrollment, curriculum changes, union contract transfer article language, licensure issues, and performance issues. Tonight, you will receive the non-renewal letters of the probationary teachers who must be released at the end of the current school year. The resolution terminates teaching contracts at the end of the 2024-2025 school year with non-renewal for the 2025-2026 school year. Administration recommends approval of the resolution.
Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Simi, seconded by Eric. Any comments or questions? Okay. Sean, can I get a roll call vote?
Louis Sines,
Yes.
Ryan Clark,
Yep.
Eric Chesmer,
Yes.
Simi Patnag,
Yes.
and Katie Schwartz. Sharon Van Leer, I don't even believe.
You're fired. Okay, yes.
Yes. Okay, motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. 9.0 Superintendent Report, and that will be presented by Superintendent Julie Nielsen.
I feel like you said Superintendent Nielsen quite a bit tonight. Just 3 quick updates for the board and for the community and those viewing. The construction staging has started, and it looks so nice that you can hardly tell. I know we have some Eastridge people out there yet, but I was out at Eastridge, and I was looking out toward the athletic area, and I thought, well, it looks like there's not quite as much light. Well, here they have the wood all up in the paneling, and there's just an opening. And then I stepped out and looked up to second level, and all of it is already trimmed out around the poles very neatly, so very tidy. And we know that athletic and activities entrance is going to be closed down. There's going to be a new entry coming in, but we are already staging. At Oatland today, the blue flags are out where I'm sure the diggers are going to be coming. I said it'll be a great way for our middle schoolers to end. They'll get to watch the big diggers outside, and you know that can be entertaining for many, many hours. So construction staging is beginning, and a lot of time and energy went into the planning and the design work, and I really try to make sure that we prepare our staff that it's going to be messy. And for our 3 students sitting up here, each one of them has something at their school. So Woodbury High School has the remodel, which will be real messy. John has the secured entryway at Lake Middle School. And of course, at Pine Hill, they have an addition as well as some reconstruction. So all 3 of these students, while they may not be at that same school in the coming years, remember, most of the work won't be done until 2027, but it has begun. Last night, I just wanted to give a shout out to our elementary art specialists. I know that we had our media specialists here this evening. South Washington County Schools takes great pride a number of years ago, back when I was hired, to actually hire specialists. So music, media, art, and Fayed. And so last night we got to celebrate our young artists. And you can take a look around here as well as in the hallways. There were photo opportunities. This place was so packed with people, and just really a nice recognition of our students and the great work that they do. And finally, this is maybe a little bit early, but communication has gone out, but April 17th. I guess it's not that early. We're almost to April. April 17th is our kindergarten welcome night. And for anyone viewing, anyone in the audience, if you have a kindergartner, know someone who is going to be in kindergarten, please make sure you get your enrollment paperwork in, because we are setting staffing now. And if we get paperwork after, which we always accept, then we just have to take a look at considerations around staffing. So April 17th will be our kindergarten welcome night. Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. Okay, 10.0, and that is our future meeting dates. April 10th, 2025 is school board workshop meeting here at the District Service Center at 6 p.m. Then April 24th is a school board business meeting also here at the District Service Center, also at 6 p.m. And with that, 11.0, we are adjourned.